All right, so the PFL is back this Friday from Atlanta, Georgia once more. It will be the heavyweights and the women's featherweights. In the main event, we have got the reigning heavyweight champion, Ante Delija, taking on Maurice Greene, and 12 fights in total with this card. Just real quick, last week's PFL action, my goodness, Brendan Loughnane missing the playoffs after getting knocked down in the first round by Jesus Pinedo, the only upset on the card, my goodness. And also, shout out to my guy, Impa Kasanganay, making the playoffs. King Impa is going to be the 3 seed in light heavyweight tournament. Really excited for that. But here we go, PFL this Friday night. And also, folks, if you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more MMA here on the channel. Yesterday, we posted our UFC Fight Night Vettori versus Cannonier predictions on the channel. And then also later today, we will have our Bellator 297 Nemkov versus Yoel Romero predictions going on the channel as well. Okay, let's get the one showcase fight on the undercard out the way. You're going to see the other showcase fight that's on the main card. You can probably guess who it is, but it's fine. We'll talk about it later. First and only showcase fight on the undercard, Isaiah Pinson taking on it, Denzel Freeman. We'll make this quick. Going with Denzel Freeman, he is 4-0 coming into this fight. He's fought once in the PFL, is in the PFL Challenger Series, given he was fighting a guy making his professional debut. For Freeman, he's only fought one guy who has a professional win so far in his career. That was in 2018, Gustavo Trujillo, back at Titan FC at 49. For Freeman, though, really good hands. He's a heavy puncher. I mean, again, someone's probably going to get knocked out in this fight. He's going to be taking on Isaiah Pinson. Pinson's a guy who won on the Challenger Series as well, so both these guys Challenger Series alums. But I think that Freeman is a little bit better than Pinson. I think Freeman's got more power. I think he's better on the feet, so that's why I'm going to go with the favorite in this fight. And, of course, Denzel Freeman to pick up the victory here with this showcase bout. Not much else to speak about this, but yeah, give me Denzel Freeman to win this one by first round knockout. Okay, our first season bout will be Patrick Brady taking on Jordan Heiderman, two guys who did not have their first fight in the PFL season this year, so both guys looking for points immediately. As we look at the heavyweight bracket, or the standings so far, in first place with 6 points, we've got Dennis Goltsov. In second place with 5 points, we've got Maurice Greene, who will be in the main event. Third place is currently Danilo Marques with 3 points. And then in fourth place, we've got Hernan Ferreira, who lost his first fight, but Ferreira is still with 3 points because of the PED pop from Kuniev. And then also with 3 points as well in fifth place, currently Matus Scheffel, who also lost to Bruno Capoloza, but Capoloza got popped just like Kuniev did. So both Scheffel and Ferreira have points. So here comes Jordan Heiderman and Patrick Brady. Both guys in desperate need of points and points quickly. I'm going to go with the Jordan Heiderman second round submission in this fight. I think Heiderman's going to come in here and get a submission in the second. Patrick Brady's a guy who it was really interesting the PFL brought him in. He's 39 years old. He's only got 5 professional fights. We don't know really how good this guy is, but most of his wins are by early submission. The thing with Jordan Heiderman, though, the former Ultimate Fighter alum, went on to the Ultimate Fighter, went 1-1 over there, beat Chandler Cole in the first round, and then lost the second one to the eventual runner-up in Zach Pounga. He went back to LFA after that fight, won a fight by Americana in the first round. We will see if he's able to submit Sean Brady. Not Sean Brady. That'd be crazy if Sean Brady was fighting for the PFL. Patrick Brady. We'll see if he can submit Patrick Brady in the first round. I think it's going to be in the second, though. I think it's going to take him a little bit more time, considering, yes, Brady is pretty good down there, but really, how good is Patrick Brady as a whole? That's the question we have for this fight. I'm going to take Jordan Heiderman, though, to win this fight by second round submission, giving him 5 points, currently putting him in a close race with Maurice Greene for second. We're going to look, okay, I'll say it's like a mid-round, I'll say it's actually an early second-round submission out of Jordan Heiderman. For Maurice Greene, his win over Marcelo Nunes was a minute into the second round. I'm going to say Heiderman's finish is after Green's was against Marcelo Nunes. So give me Heiderman to be in third place currently with 5 points with a win over Patrick Brady. So now in the women's featherweight division, our first fight will be Olena Kolesnyk taking on Yuko Higashi. So we're going to look at the standings real quick. In first place in the featherweight division, we have got Amber Leibrock with 6 points. In second place, Marina Mokhnatkina with 5 points. In third place, Larissa Pacheco with 3 points. And in fourth place, Evelyn Martins with 3 points as well. In fifth place, the only other fighter with points will be Olena Kolesnyk with 2. She only has 2 points because she could not make weight prior to her fight with Aspen Ladd. So now we got Kolesnyk versus Yoko here. Kolesnyk, a fighter who can definitely still make the playoffs. She made the playoffs a couple years ago, or actually last year she made the playoffs, where of course she lost to Larissa Pacheco in the first round. But again, Kolesnyk in her first fight this season goes in and beats Aspen Ladd, and now she would like a finish going into this one, but likely I think it will be a decision victory. Now, I could see definitely a finish though, even though Elena Kolesnyk has not gotten a finish yet in the PFL. I do not believe, no, she has not gotten a finish yet in the PFL. This is where it could be, because Yoko Higashi, oh, she's not very good. I mean, her first fight, how do you get finished by Marina Mokhnatkina? Like, we knew that Yoko wasn't going to be great going into the PFL. I think we predicted Marina Mokhnatkina to win that fight. I think I did, just because she went 3 rounds with Kayla Harrison. Yeah, exactly. But I did not expect a finish out of Marina Mokhnatkina. Mokhnatkina came in there and picked up the finish in the second round. That just goes to show me that Yoko is not very good, and that Elena Kolesnyk should be able to have her way in this fight. So Elena Kolesnyk is going to be able to win. I like her to win by decision. Giving her 3 points and putting her at 5 in total. It'll currently put her in 3rd place. It's going to be tough for her to make the playoffs, for being honest with ourselves, but still, for now, Elena Kolesnyk in 3rd place with 5 points. So next up, we've got Julia Budd taking on Martina Jindrova, a fight with 2 fighters with 0 points. It's going to be tough for either of these two to make the playoffs, considering, okay, Julia Budd's first fight, yes, she did take Larissa Pacheco the full 15 minutes. It was probably Julia Budd's best performance to date so far in the PFL, but still is not likely going to make the playoffs because, again, women's fighting, it's likely you're not going to see a finish in this fight. Julia Budd has been a shell of her former self in the PFL than what she was in Bellator, and given, you know, she's 0-3 in the PFL, or sorry, she's 1-3 in the PFL. I forgot she won that fight against Caitlin Young at the end of 2021, but losing her first fight to Jenna Fabian in 2022, then losing to Aspen Ladd, losing to Larissa Pacheco, now here she is against Martina Jindrova. I think she's going to pick up a victory. I think she's finally going to get on the board here in the PFL, but man, playoffs, I highly doubt it, because where does Julia Budd get a finish? I doubt it. I know Jindrova's first fight, she just got knocked out in 2 minutes by Amber Leibrock. That's the reason Leibrock has 6 points, basically the reason why Leibrock's going to be in the postseason. But man, I mean, again, Jindrova, former playoff fighter in 2022 after she won her first 2 fights given against Vanessa Mello and Zhamagul Falzianova. If you remember Zhamagul, she was horrible from Kazakhstan. I don't know where they found her, but I think that Julia Budd is going to beat Martina Jindrova. I think she's going to ground her, and I think Julia Budd should be able to beat her on the ground and on the feet. I think she should be able to win an all-around fight. Julia Budd will only, though, get 3 points. Probably, yeah, basically eliminated from the playoffs, but Julia Budd will win by unanimous decision. So next up, a huge Brazilian heavyweight showdown between Danilo Marques and Marcelo Nunes, and a chance for Danilo Marques here to make the PFL playoffs. His first fight in the PFL comes in short notice, takes down Yorgan de Castro, beats Yorgan by unanimous decision. Now he's got 3 points. He is currently in the heavyweight division in 3rd place, and he'll be taking on Marcelo Nunes here. And for Nunes in his first fight, got TKO'd in the 2nd round by Maurice Greene. This is a guy who came in on the Challenger Series back in 2022. He beats Bavon Lewis. He goes in after that, beats Dylan Potter, and now here he is, Nunes back in the PFL for his 2nd fight against Danilo Marques. Now, you know what Marques is going to do. Marques is going to try to take him down. Same thing you said about Nunes. Both these guys are going to try to wrestle. It's just a matter of who do you think is the better grappler and who do you think is stronger. I'm going to go Danilo Marques. This is a guy who I wasn't all that impressed with in the UFC, I'll be honest with you. But Danilo Marques is just so big. He's 6'5". I know Nunes is 6'3", so they're both 2 bigger heavyweights, but 2 bigger guys here. And I just think Marques has got more skills on the ground. I think he does. Now, again, I think the jiu-jitsu of both guys are really going to, cancel each other out, meaning there isn't going to be a finish on either side. So even though, yes, I am high on Danilo Marques' ground game, I still don't think he's going to be able to get that finish against Nunes. But I think he's going to be able to win. I think he'll be able to ride out top control time, and I think Danilo Marques will be able to win a decision, which does put him in an interesting spot, considering, okay, Marques is now at 6 points. It will put him in 2nd place. It will be Goltsov right now in 1st, then Danilo Marques in 3rd, and then Danilo Marques in 2nd, and 3rd, Maurice Greene in 4th, Jordan Heiderman. We'll see where we go from here, but this will eliminate Marcelo Nunes to be the 2nd man eliminated from the field. And for now, I'm going to Danilo Marques to win by unanimous decision. Okay, back in the featherweight division, we have got Marina Mokhnatkina taking on Evelyn Martins here. 2 fighters who are currently in postseason position. You've got currently number 2 Marina Mokhnatkina and number 4 Evelyn Martins, or I guess we've now adjusted it so Martins would be in 5th because Elena Kolesnyk would have 5 points at this current point in time. But Martins versus Mokhnatkina here. 2 fighters. The winner will get into the playoffs. The loser will likely need some help. I think Mokhnatkina obviously is more, could definitely make the playoffs even with a loss. Martins really needs the win. For Evelyn Martins, only 20 years old, one of the younger fighters, I believe the youngest fighter in this featherweight division for the PFL. Really good ground game. You know that's where Martins is going to want to take the fight. In her first fight, she beats Carolina Sobek by unanimous decision. For Marina Mokhnatkina, she picked up her first finish in the PFL by finishing Yoko Higashi in the second round by TKO. Mokhnatkina is decent. I think it's just this fight is going to depend on who has the better ground game, and I'm gonna take Evelyn Martins. Mokhnatkina picked up a finish on the ground against Yoko, but Yoko Higashi, I think Higashi is probably the worst fighter in this tournament. I just think she is. I don't think she's ready for this. She's this season's Jamagul Fazlianova. If Jamagul was like really, or probably okay. I think Jamagul is worse than Yoko, but still, I just don't think either of them were very good, and I think that's how Mokhnatkina took advantage of a very bad fighter. Evelyn Martins, I think, is still better than Mokhnatkina. I think once this fight hits the mat, Martins is better down there. I think she's able to control Mokhnatkina on the ground. I'm going to go with Evelyn Martins to now jump Mokhnatkina in the standings. So Mokhnatkina still at 5 points, but now Martins with 6. So in first place we have Amber Leibrock. Second place, we're going to have Evelyn Martins. Third place, we will have Olena Kolesnyk. In fourth place, Larissa Pacheco. Fourth place, Marina Mokhnatkina for now. We'll see how it adjusts, but for now, that's the playoff picture, and we are going with Evelyn Martins to win by unanimous decision. Okay, back at heavyweight, Denis Goltsov taking on Yorgan de Castro. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Yorgan de Castro laid an egg in his first fight. He really did. I was not expecting him to look that flat against Danilo Marques. He loses to Marques by unanimous decision, even considering Yorgan de Castro is coming off a win over one of the greatest heavyweights of all time in Junior Dos Santos. Given Dos Santos has the shoulder injury for Eagle FC in the third round, but man, Yorgan still technically wins the fight. And I know at the end of his UFC run wasn't great. He loses 3 straight to Greg Hardy, Carlos Felipe, and Jargis Danho. But still, for de Castro, comes in, loses to Danilo Marques. Now he gets Denis Goltsov. Goltsov should come in here and dominate. Let's just be honest with ourselves on how this fight's going to go. I mean, Goltsov is a guy who never got to fight in the heavyweight tournament last year and on the playoffs because of visa issues, I do believe. He was booked against Bruno Capoloza. Fight fell through. Then he was booked again against Matus Scheffel. Fight fell through for Goltsov because of visa issues. Now he's back. He got Cesar Ferreira in his last fight. He beats Ferreira by TKO in the first round. Now he gets Yorgan de Castro. He should be able to wipe the floor with Yorgan de Castro. It's not going to be close. Goltsov is better everywhere. He's better on the ground. He's better on the feet. He's got more power. He's got way more skills. And I think, again, if Goltsov can put the pieces together, this finally might be his year that he can win the entire thing. He's currently in first place with 6 points. I think he's going to add on to that. He will have 12 points and he will remain in first place. So currently the standings go Goltsov in first with 12, Danilo Marques in second with 6. Then we will have in third place Maurice Greene with 5, and in fourth place for now Jordan Heiderman with 5 as well. But for now, give me Denis Goltsov to win by first round knockout. So 2 heavyweight fighters with now a new lease on life. Even after losing their first regular season bout in their last fight, we have got Hernan Ferreira taking on Matus Scheffel, 2 Brazilians who are basically a finish away from making the playoffs here in the PFL, even though being 0-1. Of course, for Matus Scheffel, it was the Bruno Capoloza fight, but Capoloza got popped, and for Ferreira, it was a loss to Kuniev, but Kuniev got popped as well. So now you get Scheffel and Ferreira with a winner and basically a playoff spot on the line in this one. And for Ferreira, of course, last year a playoff fighter, losing to Ante Delija in the first round, and for Matus Scheffel, another playoff fighter who made it to the championship because he beat Juan Adams in the first round of the playoffs. Then he lost to Ante Delija for the World Championship. So both Ferreira and Scheffel, both their seasons getting ended last season to the World Champ in Ante Delija. It's interesting to see how this fight's going to go. Of course, when you know Ferreira, this guy's huge. He's 6'8". He's massive in there. Scheffel's a big guy too at 6'2", but man, Hernan Ferreira will have 10 inches of reach in this fight. And that's just how big this guy is. And if Hernan Ferreira can stay on the feet, he's a problem, and that's where this fight's going to stay. I mean, Matus Scheffel is not going to try to take down Hernan Ferreira, so this fight's going to stay on the feet. You're going to get a back and forth fight on the feet. It's just going to it's going to come down to basically who can land first. And I think Hernan Ferreira is going to be able to land first because I don't think Scheffel is going to be able to close the distance. So I think Ferreira keeps his distance with that big reach, and Hernan Ferreira is going to punch out Matus Scheffel, and he's going to be able to win this fight by first round knockout. So even with the loss in his first fight, Hernan Ferreira has now put himself basically in the playoffs. He will now be in second place with 9 points. So the standings go Goltsov with 12 in first place, Hernan Ferreira in second place with 9 points. In third place, Danilo Marques with 6 points, and in fourth place, Jordan Heiderman Heiderman with 5 points. But for now, we're gonna take our guy in Hernan Ferreira to win by first round knockout, putting him in second place in the PFL playoffs. Or actually, sorry, Heiderman is now out. Maurice Greene is going to be in fourth place, not Heiderman, but this would eliminate Jordan Heiderman from the bracket. Okay, so now a fight in the featherweight division between Aspen Ladd and Karolina Sobek, a fight that honestly has name value with Aspen Ladd. You know her from the UFC, but in all honesty, a fight that has no playoff implications at all, because Karolina Sobek and Aspen Ladd both lost their first fights. Unless a finish happens here, and even if a finish occurs, it's going to be tough for the winner to make the playoffs. You need a first-round finish for the winner of this fight. And, okay, I'm going to take Aspen Ladd to win by decision. Do we really feel like Aspen Ladd can go out here and get a finish against Karolina Sobek? No. She's not going to go out there and get a finish. That's just not how Aspen Ladd fights. I think she'll win the fight. I think she's better than Karolina Sobek. Sobek is, what, 23 years old? She is young in her career. That is fair. But, man, I still think that Ladd is just barely good enough. I don't know. She looked really bad in the Elena Kolesnyk fight. She barely beat Julia Budd in a stinker in her first fight in the PFL. I think she'll beat Sobek. I think she'll get her by decision. I think Ladd's able to do enough in terms of her groundwork, but I think she's, of course, going to have to remain cautious of the ground game that Sobek does have. A lot of good submissions that Karolina Sobek can throw up from her back. So I think, Ladd's going to have to remain very cautious about that as a whole. Don't get me wrong. I think Aspen Ladd still wins. I think she's able to win this fight. Maybe we'll see her try to get something off of the ground pound here. Maybe we'll see her get a late finish, but even a late finish wouldn't do it for Aspen Ladd to make the playoffs. She's going to win. She'll pick up 3 points. But again, in terms of the playoffs and the World Championship, this fight does nothing for her. It'll be a fight to get her back in the win column. Aspen Ladd wins. She'll get it done by unanimous decision. Next up, we have got Baggio Ali Walsh taking on, I think it's a first pro fight in Trevor Miller. I don't know, because the PFL is listing it as an amateur fight, which would mean another one for Baggio Ali Walsh in the PFL. He's had 2 of them so far. He's won both of them. Tapology says it's a pro fight. I don't know. I don't know if it's a pro fight or it's an amateur fight. Nonetheless, he's gonna win. Like, that doesn't change the outcome of the fight. I just don't know if it's professional or not, because he's fighting a guy here in Travel Miller who has not fought professionally yet. He's fought only amateurs, obviously. He is 3-2 as an amateur. I don't know if this is a pro fight or not. I mean, again, the PFL knows what they're doing with Baggio Ali Walsh. Obviously, he's the grandson of Muhammad Ali. They are not going to give this guy someone who's that tough. They are going to give him guys that he can beat, and Travel Miller is just another guy on that list. It's just a matter of if this is Baggio Ali Walsh's first pro fight or not. I'm not sure. If I had to guess, it is an amateur fight, considering I would trust the PFL over what Tapology's got, but I'm not sure. Anyways, Baggio Ali Walsh is going to win. We have this fight with him, every once in a while, or I guess he does this 3 times a year with the PFL. Every time the outcome, he's going to win. I always take him by first round knockout. This one's not going to be any different. Give me a Baggio Ali Walsh to win this fight by first round knockout over Travel Miller. Okay, co-main event time. It is the reigning women's featherweight champion for the PFL and Larissa Pacheco, who needs a win to make the playoffs. She has to win this fight to make the playoffs. Similar situation to Brendan Loughnane. If Larissa somehow loses to Amber Leibrock, then Elena Kolesnyk will make the playoffs. So currently we have it Leibrock in first place with 6. In second place, we have Evelyn Martins with 6. In third place, Marina Mokhnatkina with 5. In fourth place, Elena Kolesnyk with 5. And there is, of course, Larissa Pacheco in fifth place with 3. Now, okay, I have Larissa to win by first round knockout. She is levels ahead of Amber Leibrock. Now, Leibrock looked good in her first fight. She knocks out Martina Jindrova in the first round. Huge head kick, finishes the fight after that. The thing is, there are levels to this game. And Larissa Pacheco is levels ahead of all the other fighters the PFL has got in this weight class. And again, currently, Leibrock is the #1 rated fighter for them. You're going to see what Larissa Pacheco is going to do to her. It's not going to be close. Larissa Pacheco is going to come in here, and she is going to dominate, and she's going to knock her out in the first round. Now, Larissa only needs a win. That's all she needs to make the playoffs here, because 6 would do it for her. She would then be in third place, and she would get then Evelyn Martins in the playoffs. However, I think she's going to get the quick 6, and she's going to have 9 points, putting her in first place. Because, again, she's better than Leibrock. You look at what Leibrock did outside of the PFL when she fought in Bellator. She lost 3 straight to Arlene Blenko, Amanda Bell, and Jessica Borga. Yeah, she beat Janae Harding back in 2018. But, yes, look at her winning streak against a fighter who is 0-0 in Megan Marie, 0-2 Devon Holmes, 4-3 Morgan Fryer, and now Martina Jindrova, who's 6-3. Okay. Larissa Pacheco is going to make light work of this. She's going to win, and she'll be in first place going into the playoffs. So we'll have Larissa Pacheco in first place with 9. In second place, Amber Leibrock with 6. In third place, Evelyn Martins with 6. And in fourth place, Marina Mokhnatkina with 5 points. So it will be Pacheco versus Mokhnatkina in the first round, and then Martins versus Leibrock. That's your first round of the PFL playoffs. We'll see how we go from there, but that's what I've got predicted for the PFL Women's Featherweight playoffs. Okay, let's set the stage for you in the main event. In the heavyweight main event, Ante Delija, the 2023 PFL heavyweight champion, did not fight his first fight in the 2023 season. He was scheduled against Yorgande Castro. Delija had to withdraw from that fight, so it has put him in a huge hole, but he can still make the playoffs. All he needs is a first round knockout, and Delija will make the playoffs. Now, this is how this works, and it does get interesting, because this is what we have currently. In first place, Denis Goltsov with 12 points. In second place, Hernan Ferreira with 9 points. In third place, Danilo Marques with 6 points. Those 3 fighters are in. They are in no matter what. Even Danilo Marques, who's got 6 points, and who Ante Delija can skip with a first round knockout, Marques cannot fall lower than 4th. So, with a win, Ante Delija can only be 3rd place. It's 3rd place or bust for Ante Delija in this final fight. However, in 4th place right now, we have Maurice Greene. The way this is going to work is basically Ante Delija has 6 minutes and 19 seconds, 619 like Rey Mysterio, to get a finish in this fight to advance to the playoffs. If not, Maurice Greene will make the playoffs even if Delija beats him, but after that 6 minute and 19 second mark. It is crazy, but that's how it goes. In 5th place now out is Jordan Heiderman, because we thought Heiderman was not going to get a finish before Maurice Greene's finish of 1 minute and 20 seconds into the first round. So basically, this fight's dependent on if Ante Delija can get a finish before Maurice Greene did in his fight, in Maurice Greene's first fight against, of course, a fighter in Marcelo Nunes. I am banking on yes. Everything that I have seen out of Ante Delija, he is the best PFL heavyweight fighter, shows me that he is able to get this victory by first round finish. Now, there's been times where he hasn't gone out and got first round finishes. You look at his fighting against Scheffel last year in 2022. It took him a round, but still, it took him 59 seconds into the second round. That would still put him with enough points to, get in the playoffs. He would not be the 3 seed instead of Danilo Marques. Actually, he'd be the 4 seed still, but that would still put him with enough points to make the playoffs. However, it would match him up against Denis Goltsov. Again, a fight that we saw in 2021 that Delija won, but the way easier matchup, I think, is Hernan Ferreira for Ante Delija, and that's what he wants if he can get the 3 seed. That's the way easier fight in the first round of the playoffs. Because again, he beat Ferreira in 2022 on his pathway to the championship in the playoffs. I think he's able to get the finish in the first round because he knows he needs it. The Hernan Ferreira fight finished the fight in 4 minutes and 31 seconds. For the world championship against Scheffel, it took him 2 minutes and 50 seconds. I think he's very able to get it done against John Jones' teammate and Maurice Greene. I think he will get it done, and I think Ante Delija is going to pick up 6 points, and I think that will put him, I know that will put him above Danilo Marques in the playoffs. It will put Ante Delija in 3rd, and the playoffs would then go Denis Goltsov in 1st place. He'll be taking on Danilo Marques in the first round, and then Hernan Ferreira, the 2 seed, taking on the 3 seed, Ante Delija. But again, all Maurice Greene has to do in this fight, and he knows this is all he's got to do, he can back away. He can keep away from Ante Delija here. He just has to stay away for 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Then he can lose. Then it does not matter. He can lose. Delija can still beat him, and it doesn't matter. Maurice Greene would still be in the playoffs. However, I think that Delija is able to close the distance. I think he's able to push Maurice Greene back up against the fence. I think Ante Delija makes the playoffs, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with, and he'll definitely be the favorite going into the 2023 PFL heavyweight playoffs. So, folks, that does it for our PFL 5 predictions here with the regular season. We'll be back next week for PFL 6, obviously with the last 2 weight classes. That will be welterweight and, of course, a very interesting division, of course, at 155 pounds with the lightweights. Everyone with 3 points. The lightweight division is up for grabs for sure. But for now, folks, that'll do it for PFL 5. Make sure to join us later today for Bellator 297. Thank you all for watching. Also, make sure to check out UFC posted on the channel yesterday as well. Give a thanks for watching. Make sure that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy. Give a thanks for watching. And Mamba forever.